Hi, on behalf of the Board of Directors for the Alvin Manville Area Chamber and the Pearland Chamber, we'd like to welcome you to our 2024 Local Election Forum for the Alvin ISD Board of Trustees. I have a few people that I'd like to thank for helping us put this on this evening. First, I'd like to thank Heights Baptist Church in Alvin for allowing us to use their stage, their audio, their video technology for this forum. I'd like to thank the Pearland Chamber of Commerce for partnering with us and putting this on, and Jim Johnson for helping us moderate tonight. I'd like to thank our candidates for just making themselves available. It's not easy to get this many people together, but they made it happen. And I'd like to thank my staff, and again, our Governmental Relations Committee at the Chamber of Commerce, both chambers, for helping us put all of this together and organizing it. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to my 2024 Chairman of the Board of Directors for the Alvin Manville Area Chamber, Mr. Jake Starkey, who is the co-owner of 1820 Enterprises here in Alvin.
Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you to all the candidates for the Alvin ISD Board of Trustees for participating in tonight's candidate forum. I'm now going to turn it over to Jim Johnson, President and CEO of the Pearland Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome, everybody, to the Alvin ISD Candidate Forum. What a great opportunity to hear from candidates for the Alvin ISD Board of Trustees. Jim Johnson, and I'm going to go over our candidate forum rules one more time for those who are tuning in to this forum. Each candidate will be given 2 minutes to make opening statement regarding their objectives and platforms. For all follow-up questions, candidates will be given 1 minute to answer the question. No question will be asked that is directed to one particular candidate. All candidate answers and statements will be timed. The timer will start when the candidate begins to speak. As a reminder, we went over in intros that the clock in the back of the room will turn red as it gets closer to finalizing your thoughts. Our time is very limited this evening. We will not be able to answer all the questions that have been given to you guys in advance. Again, each candidate will also be given 2 minutes for closing statements. All rules regarding the time, lights, and timer will apply for the closing statements. Let's get things kicked off with the Alvin ISD Board of Trustees position 1 for opening comments, and we'll start with Millard.
Thank you. My forum is to be one of the trustees that people can trust. I'm honest. When I go into something, I'm all in for it for the long haul. I'm in it for, there's things I actually got online and looked at because this is all new to me, that dropout rate's kind of high. There's different things in there I think I might be a person that can get in there and talk about it, give my 2 cents worth. Maybe I can I'm a good listener. I'm in it to win it, and I'm in it to mainly help the kids, the teachers, and the community of Alvin. Thank you.
Thank you, Millard. Opening remarks, AJ.
Thank you. My name is Albert Johnson III. Most of you all know me as AJ. Been in this community in Brazoria County for almost 20 years and grew up right down the street in Fort Bend. My family and I moved to Alvin ISD to give my kids an opportunity to attend Manville High School when my boys were freshmen. My daughter went to Manville Junior High. I very well understand the importance of a well-rounded education. Both of my parents were educators. My dad just recently retired from Prairie View A&M University as a professor, and I'm doing this because I understand that kids need a voice and they need somebody to advocate for them, and I know someone did it for me when I was growing up. So I appreciate the opportunity that I've had to serve these past 3 years, and I'm looking forward to continue serving our district and being that support and that listening ear for our teachers, our students, and our parents, so we can continue to build this district as one of the top in the state. Thank you.
Thank you, AJ. And we'll move to position 2, opening remarks, Corey.
Yes, my name is Corey Scott. I feel like I have a dual purpose in this community. I've been in the community for a little over 20 years as well. My family has a business in Alvin ISD, Scott Funeral Home. I have 2 kids in the district. They're freshmen at Alvin High School. So I kind of see things from both sides. I have family that are educators. I have kids that I want the best for, but at the same time, you got to be fiscally responsible on the business side of it. And I feel like I bring a lot of that to the table. And I think it's we have to work for what's best of all the kids, not my kids, not your kids, all 30,000 in the district. And that's what we have to work towards. Thank you.
Thank you, Corey. Travis, opening remarks.
Evening, y'all. My name is Travis Bolts. I'm a candidate for position 2. I'm a fifth-generation Texan. We have 2 small children coming up through the education system, and my wife is an Alvin ISD high school teacher. Both my wife and I are products of public education here in Texas, and we are very proud of that fact. We see every day our public education system under assault, and that's part of the reason why I became involved in this race. Last year, my wife's department, the science department at Shadow Creek High School, saw 50% turnover of its tenured teachers. The history department saw 3/4 turnover. We in Texas are hemorrhaging teachers, and here, not least of all, in Alvin ISD. We need to be doing a better job of retaining these teachers, and a lot of that is done just by the culture of how we approach and respect educators, which is something that I have seen lacking both at the administrator level and at kind of the general populace level. We, during the pandemic, showed a lot of respect for teachers. We called them heroes, and then as soon as the kids were back in their classrooms, a lot of that respect was lost. And so I think we need to be doing a better job of promoting teaching as a profession and of defending teachers who come under spurious attack from various people who are concerned for reasons that may or may not be related to their kids' education. We see this in every level, but it's something that we can fix at the school board level, and we can make sure that we have a culture of supporting our educators and making sure that teachers are not leaving the education, that they can actually build careers and families around being a teacher with Alvin ISD.
Thank you, Travis. Moving on to position 3, we'll start off with Danielle.
Good evening. My name is Danielle Swinney. I was born and raised in Houston, Texas, and I have been in the community for a little over 13 years in Brazoria County. My husband and I have, my husband is a police officer here in Alvin ISD, and I've raised 2 children in our schooling system. My oldest son graduated from Shadow Creek High School and is now at University of North Texas in Denton. My youngest son is a sophomore at Iowa Colony High School. I think one of the reasons that I decided to take on this role is really I've always been involved in the community and within the schools specifically, so this was just an organic route for me. But I think more so than anything, my professional background and having over 21 years of field leadership experience has really aided my ability to help with recruiting, hiring, and staffing the right individuals for our district. We've said many times before that we are one of the fastest growing districts in the state of Texas, and that's going to very much be needed as we continue to grow, to support the educators that are currently here, the ones that are here to come, and then, you know, just continue to attract talent in general. I think lastly, I think that's everything that I have: recruit, hire, and staff, and my professional background. That's it. That's Danielle.
Thank you, Danielle. Opening comments now, position 3, Rebecca.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rebecca Zavala, and I'm running for position 3. I have lived in Alvin for about 27 to 28 years. I met my high school sweetheart, whom I'm still married to, under the old oak tree at the auditorium. I am a daughter of a Vietnam veteran. I have 5 children, 3 whom have graduated from Manville High School. One of them went to get an associate's degree at ACC. Another one got the bachelor's degree out of the University of Houston, out of Victoria. I have 2 children that are still small that are 6th grade and 7th grade. And I'm running for this position because I'm a local real estate agent, and I see the growth that is coming to the community of Alvin. And I feel that we can shape it towards a little bit better doing, as far as the growth that is going, that is happening. More homes are coming, the economy is growing, we're bringing more people, there needs some stability, and I'm here to help with that change. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving to the last contested race, position 7, we'll start with Gabe for opening remarks.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Alvin ISD community. My name is Gabe Garza. My wife, Danica, and I reside in Manville with our 2 children. I'm a graduate of, we are both graduates of Texas Tech University. where I graduated with my hospitality degree there. I work for Marriott International. I've been with them for 12 years in hotel sales and represent Gaylord Opryland in Nashville, here remotely. My wife and I I've lived here for 15 years. My wife is a homegrown resident of Brazoria County. She's here from Manville, and she's been teaching in the district for 15 years. I am a son, a grandson, a son-in-law, a nephew of teachers and administrators, but retired and current. I am a parent. I am deeply invested in this community, and I think that I bring that quality to the district that we need. We need a voice for the teachers. We need a voice for the students. I've remained an active citizen, not only with the school district. I've been on several committees with the school district, from school boundary committee, strategic planning committee, to the TERS Shadow Creek board. And I've done that for the last 10 years that I've been here in the area. So I have definitely a well-rounded background with our education, and specifically Alvin ISD. And I think that's most important, is having somebody in place that understands not just the business aspects of it, but also the teacher aspect, and as well as the students. And that's what I bring to the table. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Gabe. And our last opening remarks by Sharetta.
Hi, my name is Sharetta Campbell Roberts. I am proud to sit here running for the position, School Board Trustee, position 7. Our schools are the backbone of our community, and it's imperative that we prioritize initiatives that enhance the district's ratings and academic performance. As a parent and an advocate, I am deeply committed to evaluating the standards of education, or elevating the standards of education in our district. And my platform centers around improvements in the district's ratings through strategic initiatives and targeted investments. I believe in fostering a culture of excellence by advocating for rigorous academic standards, implementing innovative teaching methods, and providing educators with the resources that they need to succeed. By focusing on data-driven decision-making, accountability, and continuous improvement, we can ensure that every student in our district receives a high-quality education that prepares them for a future of success. Together, we can work towards a brighter future for our schools and our community. And I am committed to listening to your concerns, advocating for effective policies, and collaborating with all educational stakeholders to achieve our shared goals, a quality public education for all. And I look forward to earning your votes.
Thank you, Sharetta, and thank you all for those wonderful opening comments. We're going to start with position 2 with our first question. We'll go Corey, then Travis, and then we'll move to position 3. All contested races will get the same question, and then we'll kind of switch up orders as we go down the line. Corey, we'll start with you. How do you perceive the role of a trustee in the context of a school district that spans multiple cities? How would you navigate the diverse needs and priorities of these communities? 1 minute.
I think number one is you have to trust your superintendent. You have to trust that he or she is communicating with schools, those principals, those APs, getting out there. Us as a board can't be in every school every day. It's not our job. You have to trust your superintendent to be in constant communication with those APs, pulling kids out of campuses, making that a priority, and if those need special attention, making sure that's happening.
Thank you. Travis, you need me to repeat the question?
No, thank you. I perceive the role of a school board trustee in such a large and quickly growing district, and it does need to be said again, we're the 7th fastest growing district in the state. We have 4 high schools. We'll be building close to 10 or more new campuses over the next bond cycle. And right now, a large majority of the district, of the board, is elected from basically the same handful of zip codes, and has been for generations. As our district grows and more representation is needed from a more diverse background, we need to be electing people from across the district who represent a wide variety of backgrounds. And I think I'm the best one to bring that to the table. I'm a small business owner here in Brazoria County, where I run a senior care agency. We support disabled seniors. And right now we need to be able to take some of that experience of managing large, diverse organizations and bring that to the table of school board trustees so that we respect all of yous.
Okay. Question now for Danielle and Rebecca. We'll start with Danielle. Same question. How do you perceive the role of a trustee in the context of a school district that spans multiple cities? How would you navigate the diverse needs and priority of these communities? 1 minute.
Yeah, I think that we talk a lot about community and involvement. I think that truly being able to support the superintendent, understand and coming together as a team is important. I come from a team background, so understanding that we all need to be on the same page. Transparency is most certainly important, and being able to have the conversations, tough conversations, being able to have whatever needs to happen for our district. So I believe just being able to sit down, whatever opportunities that are laid out in front of us, we should be able to, as a board, come together, have those conversations, and then that funnels up to our superintendent. But because we're a team and we're all on the same page, one band, one sound, right? Then we come together, and that's how we move our district forward, while that we come together. Yes, we have a superintendent. Yes, that superintendent is absolutely amazing, but it takes each and every one of us and our input to be able to share the differences and the diversity that needs to happen, fresh perspectives and ideas for us to be able to grow and be innovative.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Rebecca, do you mean to repeat the question?
No, sir.
Thank you so much. So I don't have to, less talking to me, more talking of you guys. So.
I feel that creating a strategic plan that goes throughout the cities to find where the needs are so that we can be able to adhere to every need. Also, I feel that everyone brings something different to the table, and working together is very important. And I think that we all specialize in something different. So really being a real estate agent, that's what I have to offer. That's what I have to bring. I've also been on the Brazoria County, the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, on the Business Development Committee, so I have opportunity to offer that to the community.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. Moving to position 7, we'll start with Gabe and then go to Sharetta. The question was, how do you receive the role of a trustee in the context of a school district that spans multiple cities? How would you navigate the diverse needs and priorities of these communities? Gabe, 1 minute.
Thank you very much. So first I want to commend our administration, past, and the Board of Trustees for all the work that has been done up until now to see this district grow as fast as it has. Just in the time that my wife and I have been married for 10 years, I've seen 4 high schools, or 3 high schools pop up, and we are still continuing to see that growth. So congratulations, because I think we've been able to grow our community, keep, our community-like environment with such a big district with nearly 30,000 students, and I'm really proud of that. I think we need to listen to our stakeholders, so listen to the parents at each community, see what's important to them. I think also, a good example of that is, the way our district has moved teachers and administrators around as schools have been open. I really think that that's given an opportunity for teachers who've maybe taught in Alvin most of their career to Pearland to now Iowa Colony, and that's been able to keep our district, again, a community, because they've worked together for a long time in different stuff, and you can kind of mold everyone together, and I think that's really important. I think what our district does really good is provides needs. Oh, is that 1 minute? Oh, yes, I'm sorry, that's it.
Sharetta, the same question to you. I can repeat it, or you need me to repeat it?
No.
Thank you.
So I think the most important thing is when you have a diverse city such as Alvin ISD, district such as Alvin ISD, it is very important that we have people who are representing each one of the cities, right? Because in every pocket of this huge county, you're having a very different demographic of people. And so I think it's important that we work together, the board works together with the school administration, with the families, with the children, in order to bring this district forward as it continues to grow. So we cannot rely on the past and what has worked in the past, because as we all know, the society is progressing, things change. We are faced with different challenges all day, every day, with technology changes. So I think the board that represents Alvin ISD, and Brazoria County has to be as diverse as the people that live within each city in the area.
Thank you. Moving down to position 1, and we'll actually start with, since Millard did opening remarks, AJ, you'll get this question for it. So Millard, hand the microphone to AJ. Same question. Just making sure we rotate who goes since opening remarks, and we started with Millard. Same question, AJ. How do you perceive the role of a trustee in the context of a school district that spans multiple cities? How would you navigate those diverse needs and priorities of these communities?
Thank you. You know, I think first and foremost, you just have to be authentic and genuine. When you sign up for public education, you do this simply for the love of helping someone other than yourself. A lot of our teachers pour into these kids every single day, and Alvin ISD is just a small subset of what our world is today. These kids are faced with a variety of nationalities, backgrounds, languages, and Alvin ISD represents all of those. As a board of trustees, we just need to support that. Our teachers need support. They need to know that they have leadership in place that supports everything that they do on a daily basis. We have proven that Brazoria County, and specifically Alvin ISD, is a desirable place to live. That's why the district has grown such over the past 90 some odd years. But we need to make a workplace where they desire to also show up to work every day and continue to pour into these kids and have a board that supports that same behavior.
Thank you so much. Millard, same question.
I think that it's a big part to help the board to ensure that we have a clear vision and goals for the entire district, to understand the needs and differences of each school to our district and build a prioritized plan to reach the goals for the district. If we find out that one school needs, a different set goal, we can meet, discuss it. But the whole thing is to make sure that all the staff, the kids, and all the schools just let them know that we want to be equal and give clear vision and goals where we can all meet our goals and go on about our business.
Thank you so much, Millard. We're going to move on to our next question. We're going to start with position 3, and we'll start with Rebecca. And we'll kind of, as you know, we're going to change who starts off with question. A lot of talk today about passion for education. Education requires a deep commitment and understanding of its challenges and opportunities. We all have those personal stories, like my 4th grade teachers at Walt Disney Elementary, Werther's, Faulkner, and Johnson, who gave me my first MC gig in the 4th grade. So we all have those stories that inspire. Now I'm hosting a candidate forum. Can you share a personal story or experience that illustrates what drives your passion for serving on school board?
Well, I'm at church about 3 times a week, and I serve at church. And I can't really explain a story or anything, but I will tell you, my passion is pure selfless. I'm not a politician. I don't seek power. I don't seek political gain. I see the growth as a real estate agent, and I want to be able to accommodate the kids that are coming in while still providing and empowering education and providing a safe environment for students and teachers.
Thank you so much. Danielle, same question. If you need me to repeat it, I will.
I'm good. So I come from a family of educators, and I wanted to say it in my opening, so I'm glad I got the opportunity to say it now. But 7 aunts, and of those 7 aunts, 5 of them were educators. They all have retired from the school system. And when I say that, of the 5, 3 of them were all school teachers. The other 2 was a counselor and then a principal. But they all started off in the classroom, but nonetheless, they all retired with over 20 years of experience in the schooling system. So that you can only imagine how many cousins that I have that are in education. So it's ingrained and all around me for my entire life, right? So understanding the struggle of the classroom, the educator funding, supplies, all of those different things. The educator truly loves their students. They do. And I love the fact that we can support them with their end game. Support them from a perspective of just truly being able to do what they love doing the most. So since I've been on the front line and saw it right at the front, I think that's what drives my passion to really serve in a greater capacity.
Thank you so much. Same question. We're going to move to position 7. This time we'll start with Sharetta, and we're going to talk about personal stories of what drives your passion for education. Like my 1st grade teacher, Carol Nelson, who helped me become just a great student and go on a career. So what drives your personal experience and go on to serve on the school board?
So first and foremost, I love education. I spent a good portion of my adult life in school getting higher education. A most personal story happened with my daughter, which led me to run for school board. She was having some trouble with reading early on, and it was something that kind of flew under the radar at school, and I had to advocate tremendously to get her the assistance and the supports that she needed. It was very difficult to navigate. It was very difficult to do all the research and to reach out to people who are within my village to get as much information as I could to navigate the myriad of things within the education system that sometimes can seem like a bulwark standing in your way, an obstacle. I don't think that should be. If our kids need additional supports, additional help, we should be lined up, running to the finish line to get that for them. And I would be an advocate on the school board for making that process a little easier and more transparent for parents who actually need the assistance.
Thank you so much, Sharetta. Gabe, the question, can you share a personal story or experience that illustrates what drives your passion for serving on the school board?
So I'll start with first, I don't know if there's a lot of teachers that probably want to talk about my stories. They were good. I just talked a lot.
I only have a couple more,
Exactly,
2 more questions,
yeah.
2 more stories.
Anyway, we can talk about that another time, but I have a lot of stories of my teachers. But like I said in my introduction, I have a passion to serve. I always have, whether it was class president in high school to recruiting for Texas Tech. I've just always had a passion to serve. Education has always been at my dinner table, public education, with the countless amount of educators in my family. And I'm a parent, so that's important, advocating for our students. And you know what? As a man of faith, I really believe that God has a journey for everyone. And it was not my plan and my destiny to be a public educator, but I think that I have, I can be an advocate for them with my personality and what I can bring to the table. And I think that's really important to have. And so, most importantly is supporting our teachers and our students and our staff.
Thank you so much, Gabe. Moving on to position 1. We'll start with Millard. The question has been, education requires a deep commitment. We're sharing personal stories that illustrate what drives your passion for serving on school board. And I have to mention my 5th and 6th grade librarian, Miss Williamson, gave me that passion for reading. Still love to read today. So go ahead, Millard. What drives your passion?
What drives my passion is when my grandson was coming up through elementary school in Alvin, me and my wife would alternate picking him up from the school because his parents both worked. So the job we had, we got home earlier. So we'd stop by and pick him up. Doing his homework stuff, we noticed that he was having trouble reading and writing and understanding letters and stuff. And so my wife ended up going back to the school and was asking if they've noticed anything, and they had been noticing stuff, but they had sent a letter also to his parents, which they hadn't told us anything. So we went back up there and had a long meeting with them, but I will tell you this, the school jumped on this, gave him a lot of help. This was in his early years, and when he graduated from Alvin, he was an A and B student. He come out of that really well.
Wonderful. AJ, same question to you, sir.
Thank you. My body of work has been full of servant leadership. And I really believe that because someone did it for me. I grew up around positive role models my whole life, and I thank my parents for that. These kids show up to our schools every day. They don't necessarily care about politics or about the paint on the wall or what they have or don't have. All they look for is an opportunity to get better every day. And I want to be part of a board and part of a school district that strives to do that. This is how I live my life. We have to teach some tough lessons. A quote that my mom would always tell me, not always, but until I got my lesson, poor planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on mine. And she taught me some tough love. And we have to be honest with these kids because the world will be. And we have to prepare them every day they show up in our buildings and give them the best opportunity in life once they leave Alvin ISD.
Thank you so much, AJ. Position 2, we'll start with Travis. We've been talking about personal stories or experience. Last one, 3rd grade, Mark Twain Elementary. You could tell I'm an Alvin graduate. My mom was actually my GT coordinator at that school. We did Race Across America. My passion for history started there, and that's what I majored in. I'm not running for school board, just that passion of education impacts us and how we are. Travis, you'll start off with the question.
So if we've got to talk about a teacher that inspired us, that's my junior AP US history teacher, Mrs. Seeger, at Clear Lake High School some 20-something years ago. And she took great pride in kind of teaching a holistic approach to history. She didn't pull punches. She didn't only teach the parts that made us look good. She taught us what actually happened, and more than anything, she taught me how to write, and she taught me how to defend my points of views with consistent logic. Again, personally, I'm married to a public school teacher, so I see kind of the trials and tribulations of this on a day-to-day basis. It is an every night dinner conversation at our table. And we have friends who have abandoned the teaching career because of the environment that here in Texas we have created for our public educators. So seeing the difference between the environment that I grew up in, the teaching that I received, and the way that we teach teachers today is a central reason about why I'm running for school board today.
Thank you so much, Travis. Corey, same question to you. No more stories from me.
Yes, sir. So the environment I grew up in is when you got sent to the PE class, the PE teacher got a hold of you with a wooden paddle. But that was another day, another time. My passion to serve comes from just a long line of history, whether it's veterans in my family, whether it's Rotary, church, Chamber of Commerce, Picket. And I wouldn't say I wouldn't be doing this. I have a vested interest. Like I said, I got 2 in Alvin ISD, but it's about all the kids. It's not about one school. It's not about one program. It's not about one teacher. It's not about my kids, not about your kids. It's about all of them every day.
Wonderful. Thank you, everybody, for those answers. A lot of passion about education. We're going to talk about fiscal responsibilities, and we're actually going to start over here, position 7. We're going to start with Sharda, you answered the first question. So Gabe, you get this one first. Make sure I get my order in order for this. And school districts often face tough financial decisions. Alvin ISD is having a bond committee right now considering a November ballot. But how would you approach budgeting and financial management to ensure the district's fiscal health while advancing educational goals?
First and foremost, I want to commend our finance team at Alvin ISD, which is led by Dr. Daniel Combs. That team continues to receive accolades by the state for their excellence in financial reporting. I think they're going on like 9 years of one of the most prestigious awards. So that says something. So with that said, let them keep doing what they're doing and see how we can make it better, right? That's kind of where we come in. With limited state funding and inflation, it's kind of required our school district to kind of tighten up the ropes from different avenues, but our commitment to this teachers and our staff and our education and our curriculum has not wavered. And in conversations that I've had and that we've had on the board with my incumbents on the stage with our finance team is we're always going to put our curriculum instruction for our students first and our teachers first, and that's always going to remain our number one priority.
Wonderful. Thank you. Sharda, I'll read the question. How would you approach budgeting and financial management to ensure the district's fiscal health while advancing educational goals?
So I think when it comes to educational goals, we cannot be skimpy with the budget, unfortunately. I know the budget is what it is, but our kids are literally the future. I think wherever we can, we'd have to look at expenditures where we can trim some of the fat, making sure that whatever big expenditures that we have on the playing field, that we're doing comprehensive quotes. I lost my train of thought there. Quotes to ensure that we're getting the best bang for our buck. Because at the end of the day, I think everybody is kind of feeling the pinch of the taxes. So we want to cut costs wherever we can without sacrificing anything related to our children's education.
Thank you. Let's stay. This question is going to go to quite everybody on the board because it's so important. Fiscal responsibility. I'm going to kind of go this way this time, and I'm going to start with Danielle because I think Rebecca started last time, and we're talking about fiscal responsibility. How would you approach budgeting and financial management to ensure the district's fiscal health while advancing educational goals?
Yeah, I think it kind of ties back to one of the questions you had earlier as it relates to working as a team and really understanding one another. I think in simplistic form, it is taking an informed approach, right? Understanding what information we have in front of us, being able to understand it, have some input on it, and then making a decision. I think all of us are probably in the same place that no matter what those decisions are, they have to always support our students and our staff and keep them at the forefront of all decisions, no matter what the top line or bottom line may say.
Rebecca, same question.
Yes, sir. So approaching the budget, I would approach it head on because like any other budget, there's room for improvement. So without the sacrifice of the education and remembering and keeping in your forefront that the children are the most important thing and that's what you're focused on, we can find something. We can accommodate that budget and find that room for improvement, all while structuring and keeping the teachers and the students in mind.
Thank you, Rebecca. Same question, moving down to Corey and Travis. We'll start with Corey. How would you approach budgeting and financial management to ensure the district's fiscal health while advancing educational goals?
So that's kind of a double-edged sword, and I agree with Trustee Garza. Superintendent Nelson and Dr. Combs do a great job of working our budget and keeping it in line. You put on two hats. As a dad and kids in the district, do I want the best for them, the best teachers, the best facilities, the best everything? Absolutely. Put on the hat as a tax-paying business owner or family business owner. Do I want to pay for it? Maybe, maybe not. Or an elder who doesn't have kids in the district, or you can't have it all. So there's a tough balance between wanting the best and being able to pay for the best.
Thank you, Corey. Travis, same question.
So it's important that we elect school board trustees who understand how school finance works in Texas. There are three components of school financing. The first is your individual property taxes, which anybody in Brazoria County will tell you are way too darn high, and we cannot rely on individual taxpayers paying any more into the bucket. The second is our per student allocation, and that means that when we are planning for this prodigious growth that we have, we need to have as many seats available to accommodate as many new students coming into the district, because that is our revenue stream. If I, as a small business owner, wanted to stymie my growth and make sure I didn't have growth in the future, I would make sure that I didn't have all of these extra avenues of revenue. However, I do, so I want to build out as many different avenues for revenue to come in as we can. The third is state funding, and this is where the bottleneck is, because our district and most districts have not taken an adequate role advocating to our state legislatures to stop the bottleneck on public finance or on public education and make sure that we get the dollars we need from the state level down instead of having to rely on more individual property tax raises.
Thank you so much. We're going to move down to position 1, and we're starting with AJ. Y'all are the one that I messed up earlier with it. We got it down. AJ, same question to you. How would you approach budgeting and financial management to ensure the district's fiscal health while advancing educational goals?
First, I agree with my fellow trustees here that Dr. Combs and Superintendent Nelson have done a fantastic job of balancing our budget, at least since I've been here and preceding me, I'm sorry. As a business owner and as a parent and a tax-paying citizen here, we always want the best for our kids. We've done a lot of things very well in Alvin ISD, and finances has been one of them. When we look for opportunities to get better, I look at what do our teachers need? What do our facilities need? What does our maintenance department need? If there's any opportunity for us to make incremental improvements, should the budget allow for it, I believe we need to consider that as a board and present that to our administrative team if it makes sense. We can't just write a blank check, but we need to look for opportunities for real improvement that has data to back it up. And if with finances and the budget allows for it, I think we need to consider it.
Miller?
Yes, I agree with what everybody has already said. Another thing about the budget, I've been at Alvin all my life. In the last 15 years, I've seen the growth in Alvin. It's just it's gotten big. So I think Alvin's done a great job with the financial budget, what they've done throughout all the schools. One of the things I'm pretty proud of seeing is the protection of the schools with the school police. You know, we want our kids to have the best and also to come to school and be safe and go home. I've seen that. It's very good in Alvin. You can drive around all over every school from elementary all the way up to high schools, and I think Alvin has done a very good job. And I know it's a tough decision to where the money should go and what's the biggest need, and you got to divide that out and prioritize. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to start with position 1, and we're going to work our way down. AJ, grab that microphone. In your view, what constitutes success in preparing students for college, careers, and military service, especially considering the varied economic and cultural backgrounds of students in our district? Really, how do you define economic success with Alvin ISD?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. You know, I have seen, I've experienced personally the sense of pride that comes with accomplishments, right? We need to show our kids what it looks like to reach and attain goals. I do believe kids do what we allow, or they do what we teach them to do. You know, we have some outstanding teachers in this school district that got into this business not for the money. They got in this to make a difference. We all just shared stories about our teachers that we remember from our childhood days, whether it be our parents or the actual educators in our home. I just think we need to allow our teachers to be their authentic self and use the God-given talent that they have to allow these kids to reach new heights. Kids don't know what their opportunities are unless we allow them to do it. And I really believe, you know, anything that mind or man can believe, I think the mind can achieve. And we have to allow the kids to try to reach those. And if they fall short, that's okay. But it's a learning lesson through that. And we have teachers that can get them over the hump.
Thank you. Millard, same question.
Repeat the question.
Oh, great. In your view, I don't remember which question it was. In your view, what constitutes success in preparing students for college, careers, and military service, especially considering the varied economic and cultural backgrounds of our students in our district? Or simply put, how do you define student success within the district?
First of all, I think we can go out and look at the surrounding communities and see what's out there for students while they're in school, when they graduate, if they don't want to go and have a college education, or if they get a college education, what they can come back to work at. I think Alvin does a pretty good job. I know where I came from when I was working. I'm retired now. When I was working, you know, we had recruiters that went out and we recruited looking at different things for the plant, what would better our place and in different products and stuff. So, you know, I would be ready to, you know, experiment and look at all the surrounding communities to see what they offer for the students in Alvin, because you want them to be successful. You want them to graduate. They can go out to the world. It's a new world to them when they graduate and go out there and start a job where they're prepared and ready to be successful in life.
Thank you so much. Travis, same question, in your view.
So student success, and particularly we need to be focusing on that career readiness coming out of high school, because the value of a high school degree has declined over the past several generations. We need to be pairing with local business makers, business and job creators, to make sure that we are providing graduates with the skills necessary to meet the current labor force. This is something we've talked about at the Chamber for years. In Alvin ISD particularly, J.B. Hensler Career Academy needs much more support and promotion than it does have, and we need to make sure that we are putting more graduates through there to actually get out with career-ready skills. I've been endorsed by the Gulf Coast Area Labor Federation, and we need to be partnering with labor in general to make sure that we have strong workforce and that the next generation of workers that we are educating know how to actively participate in the work community and aren't just job hopping. They actually have foundations to build a career, which then builds back into our community because we're able to fulfill these needs directly.
Thank you, sir. Corey, same question.
Yes, I agree. Our J.B. Hensler, they all need more support. Again, it's not just about one. Our graduate certification has improved. The data will show whether that's welding certification, whether that's dental certification. I think we have a barber and certifications. Whether that's animals or sports. the data will show we have more enrolled in dual credits. I can't tell you the amount of people, and it astonishes me every year, how many of our young folks graduate with a associate's degree and a high school diploma. I think we've done good, and the data will show we've increased, and we just need to continue to support those programs.
Thank you so much. We'll start with Rebecca. Same question, Rebecca, because this is so important. Educational success. You know, in your view, what constitutes success in preparing students for college, careers, and military service, especially considering the varied economic and cultural backgrounds of our students in our district?
So I think that the curriculum is the most important thing, and not just stopping at a state level, but moving on to the best knowledge that we can give them. I think creating opportunities for them and actually taking a deeper dive into the classrooms and seeing where there is any lack that we can make up from other teachers.
Thank you. Danielle, same question.
Oh man, I'm gonna need more than a minute. I'm putting my mom cap on for this one, okay? So when I think about what we do for career readiness or just preparing our students, I think we do a great job because I have 2 children that have come up through Alvin ISD. I think that in middle school, when they have these interviews with our counselors and they prepare them for these pillars within that they're gonna go into in high school and identifying what's important to them, even in middle school, is critical, right? And so one word that we've heard across the board is diversity. So whether that's academically, athletically, or if we're preparing them for a trade, or if they're going to go into armed services, we have it all. But it's about them understanding and knowing, and that starts in the middle school, and then as they go into high school, them identifying and knowing what that is. We have phenomenal trades, from culinary to business to everything, welding, state of the art, literally. So I think that what we have is working. We just have to make sure that it's happening consistently across the board. That's success.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Sharetta, do you need me to repeat the question?
Danielle kind of said what I was going to say. So I'm going to reiterate 100%. I agree with what she said. It's important that for success, we have everything that the kids may need, right? Every kid is not going to go to college. Every kid doesn't want to go to college. So we need to have opportunities available for all of our kids. We need to have information available to all of our kids so that they know what's out there. We need to have more diverse trade schools within the schools as well, because it gives kids an idea of the other things that they can do besides going to college. And it does not leave any kid feeling like they're left by the wayside if college is not in the cards for them for whatever reason, be it they just don't want to invest another 4 years, or money is a problem, or they just want to go to work. So we need to have options for our kids, and options to me is indicative of success.
Thank you. Gabe?
As the last one, I could not agree with everyone from some aspect of everything. I definitely agree with everybody. In words of many teachers that I know, educational success is very different for every student. You may have a student who's very academically advanced. You may have a student that is in our special education program. You may have a student that needs a little bit of assistance. So, a lot of the times our funding and everything is so focused on scores and academic progress and all these things. And I feel like, education success is very different for each kid. And I hear that every day at home. And so to everyone's point, it's finding out what is the pathway for your student or your child, and Alvin ISD has the program and has a solution for them to find the way that they want to go, whether it's in an orchestra at Shadow Creek High School because that serves that community, or they need food on the weekends. There's so many variety of things that and it goes beyond the classroom, I think, more importantly.
Thank you, Gabe. We're going to stay with you, Gabe, and we're going to work our way back, because I think this is, I've been counting how many times you say certain words, and the word teacher has come up many times. It's the most common word we've used tonight. So attracting and retaining educators and staff is crucial. What strategies would you implement to make Alvin ISD a top choice for educational professionals? This question is going to be for everybody down the line. Gabe?
That's a very interesting question to ask, because I obviously live with one who works in Alvin ISD, and I think that everyone's going to say on here, money for them. Well, for those of us who serve, currently on the board, sometimes the budget doesn't allow for these enormous raises, and I think that goes across the state. I'm not saying anything that's just related to Alvin ISD. We do a good job of paying our teachers as it relates to the area, and we provide them bonuses throughout the year, or actually during Christmas time. Have done that consistently every year because we have the budget to support that. I think honestly, and I think Travis said this earlier, a lot of people do this not because they want the pay, they have the heart. And I think a lot of teachers that I know and personally come in contact with, they love providing education for a child and seeing them grow from day one to the last day of school. So you know what? A thank you, words of affirmation, reminding them that we are proud of what they do, celebrating their successes. Yes, coaching them where we need to, but a thank you goes a long way. And Gene Day, they love Gene Days, But anyway, I think it's important that we thank a teacher more often.
Sharetta, same question.
So, of course, Buddy is always on the playing field. Everybody wants to get enough money to have a standard of living. But like Gabe said, sometimes it's not in the cards as far as budget. I think the board's role should be, of course, to get the teachers as much money as they can possibly swing. However, I think a lot of people stay in jobs where the pay may not be that great when they're valued, when they have a voice, when they feel like they're heard and appreciated. So I think one of the most important things the school boards can do and people in the community is show teachers that they're valued, that they're necessary. Teachers is the one profession that touches every other profession out there, and we need to always invest in them. We need to make sure that they have a good work-life balance, and that more so when there's a certain segment of the population that may be trying to attack our teachers, they need to know that we have their back and that we support them.
Thank you so much. Danielle, same question, 1 minute.
Sure. So it's a proven fact that compensation does not aid retention, right? So while compensating our teachers fair and equitable is critically important, I think more so than anything, what we've kind of heard here is really about culture. And I think when attracting new talent, it's about creating a great compensation package, and a great benefits package, and a part of those benefits is culture, right? Do we have a succession plan in place for individuals who come in who have the desire to grow? What does that look like when you come in as a teacher and you desire to do more? What does my career path look like? Do we have lactation stations? Do we have all sorts of things? What does that look like from an overall benefits package? So truly being able to review things that are important to our educators and putting that in a package and enforcing and ensuring that those things happen within their environment. So culture is critical.
Thank you so much, Danielle. Rebecca?
I think that Alvin ISD already speaks for itself. And I think that it's a great place to enroll your child. However, when you're talking about the teachers, I really think we can go back and forth and really say what we think they need. But being that I'm not married to a teacher, I really can't tell you. So at the end of the day, I believe we need to ask the teachers, what do they feel? What do they think? And how can we make it better?
Thank you so much, Rebecca. We'll start with Corey. Same question. Talk about what strategy would you implement to make Alvin ISD a top choice for educational professionals?
So I think it's a lot of things, and not just teachers per se. Obviously, compensation is one. If we need to be at the top to pay the best, to get the best. Like Trustee Garza said, we give bonuses every year. They're not retirement bonuses, but it's something to say thank you, and a thank you goes a long way. Certain things throughout the year, Jean's Day, whatever that is. But I think you also, again, have to look at the whole picture. I would hope teachers appreciate the yard guys, the maintenance guys, the bus drivers, the custodian. You have to incorporate all that into education. It's not just one facet.
Thank you, Corey. Travis?
I think it needs to be echoed again that it's not about the money. Teachers kind of sign up from the get-go that they're not going to be millionaires. They're going to educate the next generation of our society, and that's what they're going to do this for, because that's what brings them joy and fulfillment. People keep mentioning Jeans Days, and I'll tell you what, my wife would trade every Jeans Day in the school district if she could have adequate sub coverage so that she could take off when she has a doctor's appointment or my kid has a doctor's appointment. Providing these wraparound coverages to make sure that we understand our teachers are human beings. They have lives that they need support. Angleton ISD, just to the south of us, is starting to offer full-day pre-K for its not just the teachers, but also the educators and the administrators. Though they're going to start pulling teachers away from us and into Angleton because they offer these programs. Being able to offer mental health support or offer child care support or these other type of wraparound access is going to have so much more impact, and ultimately it's going to cost a fraction of what jacking up their pay rates is going to actually do.
Thank you so much. Moving down to Millard, same question.
To me, not every single person can be a good teacher or a teacher. I mean, you have to have that in you, and I think all the teachers that we have in the Alvin Independent School District are great people. I don't know them all, but they're in it to help our kids to be successful in life. I'm not really familiar about all the perks they get. I have looked at their salaries. I agree with most of the people. I don't think it's a big thing about how much money you make. It's their passion to help the kids, help the community, and make all of our kids be successful in life like they have been. So I'm one of the ones that, yeah, you want to better everything that they get. Like school supplies, things that they buy on their own. I think these teachers are really dedicated to the kids that we have in all of our schools.
AJ?
Yeah, Millard brought up a good point. I think if and when we give them more money, they're just going to buy more Kleenex and crayons and everything that they need, that I continue to help buy every time I get one of those Amazon lists. So we all know money can't help, and it does put a Band-Aid on things, but that's just what it is. It's just a temporary Band-Aid. I'm the guy that asks a lot of questions if you haven't figured that out yet, and that's how I learn. And I also learned that you have to listen to people that do the work to figure out what's needed. I think we're all familiar with the show. There's a show called Undercover Boss. I had a wild hair that said, hey, I'd like, and I know we have surveys that go out, but I also understand that teachers are reluctant to fill them out honestly just because of whatever reason. They don't feel comfortable. We can't have a workplace where every single employee, especially our critical employees that we count on every day to run this district, don't feel like they have a voice. I believe we need to listen to them, listen to the maintenance department, listen to the people that are doing the work so that we can attract and retain the best talent in the state and make Alvin ISD a district where somebody comes and they retire.
Thank you, all of y'all. Great questions, great answers to all of you guys today. We're going to move on to closing remarks. 2 minutes for closing remarks. We're going in reverse order of what we started. Sharetta, 2 minutes closing remarks.
Foremost, I'd like to thanks everyone for the opportunity to be here tonight and talk about my platform a little bit and to a wider audience. I am thoroughly pleased with this evening. It's been a great panel. I want to make sure that everyone knows that I understand that when I run for an office that I'm not just asking for your vote, I'm asking for you to trust me. Trust me with one of the most valuable things out there, and that's the education of your children. Just be mindful that I understand that trust is paramount here and that I will work tirelessly for our educators, for our children, and for our community. If I am so blessed to get people's votes, to become the trustee in position 7 for Alvin ISD.
Gabe, 2 minutes, closing remarks.
Thank you. I'd also like to thank everyone for this evening. Thank you, Alvin Manville Chamber of Commerce and the Pearland Chamber of Commerce for hosting this forum. First and foremost, it's awesome that we're all on this stage today. We put ourselves out there to run for office, to represent our communities, our families, our friends, our teachers, our staff, everyone. It says a lot that we come out here and, put ourselves on stage. And I think that's really important to give, compliments to all of us for doing that. I love this community, point blank. I'm invested in this community. I think Alvin ISD is one of the best school districts. I can tell you, I've been so impressed with the school district over the years and where it's come from and where it's going. And I think we have a lot ahead of us, and I want to be a part of that ultimately. I think I am a great voice for the teachers. I'm a great voice for our students. I'm a great voice for everyone in our community. And, I said this last year, and I just reminded myself is, much like a father and the way a spouse represents their home is how I feel to be in this position. I want to represent this community proudly. I want to do what I need to. I want to listen. I want to take action. And I want to be a good representation of what our community is and where it's going. And I think it's really important that we do that together and continue to make Alvin ISD the best school district in our area, because it is, for future years.
Thank you so much, Gabe. Rebecca, closing remarks, 2 minutes.
First, I want to thank God because my steps are ordained by Him. Then I want to thank you guys for having me here and giving me the opportunity to speak. I also want to remind everyone that there is no situation that has no solution. And I look forward to being an opportunity for you guys and advocating for everyone for the Alvin ISD. So I look forward to serving you. Thank you.
Danielle, closing remarks, 2 minutes.
So I'm grateful for the opportunity that you guys provided us with tonight. It's been great to hear everybody's their perspective and thoughts as it relates to our district. This morning I had the opportunity to attend the Yet Mentor breakfast within our district. So I've been a Yet Mentor for us. And just like anything else that I do within our district, I did it wholeheartedly. I did not know that they interviewed my mentee. And so they gave her little testimony at the breakfast this morning. And the encouraging words that she gave and said about me were so heartfelt. And I just thought it made me feel about what I do when I approach anything. Anything that I set my heart out to, I do it selflessly. And I don't look for accolades or anything like that that has to do with me. And people just tend to see the good. So that was just, it just blew my mind this morning. But that is just a testament for this role and why I desire to do it, why I am the woman for this job, why I am the one that can lead us where we need to go, and just the one for this role. And I think that I'm just excited about it. So I wanted to make sure I shared that and say thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Travis, 2 minutes, closing remarks.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Carrie. Thanks to Height Baptist Church for hosting us and for putting on this great event. My name's Travis Bolts. I'm running for position 2. I'm a small business owner. I am married to a teacher. I have small children in the district. We are committed to raising them in the public school system because I believe that's the only way that we build within our community is by sending my kids next to your kids who come from a different background, who go to different churches, who have different jobs, and that's really kind of across our district. We are such a diverse population that we need to be able to recognize that and draw strength from every aspect of our community. I believe that Alvin ISD has huge potential, and the growth that we are experiencing is one that we can leverage to make sure that the next generation of students receives the best education, and that Texas is the best place to educate my kids and yours.
Thank you, Travis. Corey, 2 minutes, closing remarks.
Thank you, like everybody, for all of us being here. This is a tough job for everybody up here. It's not one that it's just an easy answer to anything. One of the tougher things I ever sat on was probably, in all the boards or committees I've sat on, was the boundary committee. You are literally moving kids' lives, and it's tough, but you have to look at it from all the kids, not my kids, not your kids, every child in the district. And that's a tough thing to do, and there's no easy answer. I'm running for position 2. I would appreciate your support. It's a thing of having a balanced budget, to making sure our teachers are happy, to making sure maintenance, bus drivers, custodians, everybody. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and I hope you understand. Please vote for those who know all the logistics, not just one in particular facet.
Thank you, Corey. Position 1. Closing remarks. AJ, 2 minutes.
Thank you, guys. When I chose to do this 3 years ago, much like a lot of us, we weren't blessed with the ability to teach long term or be in the classroom, and so this is how I chose to give back. I've always been involved with any of my kids' activities and other people's activities as well, just because I grew up around education. And like I said earlier, somebody did it for me, and I'm thankful that I'm in a job and in a place where I can dedicate a lot of time to this. A lot of people ask, what do you get out of being a school board member? And it's the smiles on those kids' faces when you see them in the hallways, when you see them at Shark Day, when you see them at Mav Day, Jacket Day, the genuine love they have for the teachers that pour into them every single day. But one thing I desire, if I am reelected here for position 1, I want our parents to know how important they are and how we can bridge that gap between our parents and the school district. We need you. Your kids need you. And the school district is on your team. I want our parents to understand that to not look at the school district as an ally, as an opponent. We really desire help from our parents so that we can be a full circle support system with our students, parents, board of trustees, administrators, and things of that nature. I really want to see us be a community that everybody is involved in every aspect of these kids' lives. Yeah, we are 7 trustees and a team of 8 with the superintendent, but man, we have 30,000 students that depend on us every single day. Over 50,000 employees, I believe. We touch so many nations and nationalities and backgrounds, and all we desire, or these kids desire, is to show up for an opportunity to get just a little bit better every single day. And our teachers desire an opportunity to be appreciated and wanted and thanked every single day. And we just want to be a board of trustees that supports that behavior and continue to build that culture here. AJ for Alvin ISD, I appreciate your support.
Miller, 2 minutes, closing remarks.
I want to thank everybody for tonight. It's been great. Everybody gave great answers. I'm running for position 1. I'd like to have y'all support and vote. Coming up in Alvin, when I graduated, I was proud where I went to school. When I went off to college, where I went, some people didn't even know where Alvin was. But I tried to explain to them, it was part of the best years of my life. I can go back and tell stories. I enjoyed it. I see kids in stores. I see them all over town thinking, when they make sayings like, I can't wait to get back to school tomorrow. You can hear them in grocery lines talking. That's the community and the schools you want to be involved in. And I know this job here is a tough job, but I look at it as a real rewarding job for an individual to see what they can do for the community, the teachers in schools, for all Alvin Independent School District. It's a big job, and I'm willing to be part of it. I'm a good listener. I'm in it to voice my opinion. I think we can grow. We can seek new expectations, and seeing the growth of the community, I know that in the future, it's going to be probably the best in the state of Texas. Thank you.
I want to thank everybody for attending. Nobody forced you to run, and it takes a servant heart to serve. So again, thank you to all the candidates, not contestants, who chose to run for Alvin ISD Board of Trustees. I'll end with a quote. It's my favorite quote. I end it all the time. FDR said it best. Democracy cannot succeed unless those who express their choice are prepared to choose wisely. The real safeguard of democracy, therefore, is education. Education important with our democracy, and education in knowing who you're voting for. Get out and vote, everybody, and have a good one.
Again, I want to thank you tonight for watching this forum for all of our candidates. Thank you for taking the time to educate yourself on the candidates who are going to be on the ballot. I also want to thank Heights Baptist Church again for letting us use their facility, for letting us use their tech to be able to bring this to you. I want to thank 1820 Marketing, who also helped put this video together so that we would be able to post it for you and have it easily accessible to your social media platforms. Again, I want to thank the candidates for making themselves available to us so that we could get this information out to you. That reminds us that early voting is going to begin soon on April 22nd through April 30th, and then Election Day is going to be May 4th. Thank you again for supporting your local chamber, and thank you always for shopping local.